4 steps to downloading free PSP games. 4 steps to downloading free PSP games. Do you want to download games onto PSP? Hardly anybody doubts the usefulness and many facets of the Sony PSP, but a lot of people feel that the games themselves are considerably overpriced. If you do your research, you can find the right places and methods to download games onto our PSPs, and we can even do this without breaking the law. How to download games onto PSP. Step 1. Your standard PSP games will come on disk, or UMD as they are called. As you download games onto PSP, however, they will go directly onto a memory stick/card. Although some people call them memory sticks, and others refer to them as memory cards, there is no difference between the two. The standard PSP memory card of 32 MB will just be big enough to do the job with modern games. PSP owners as a rule should get the biggest and best card within their budget. It is not difficult anymore to find reasonable deals on 2 or 4 gig models on eBay and Amazon. When you have acquired your memory card, it will need to be formatted before you can use it. This will effectively wipe the card clean, and is an essential step, so don't leave it out. How to download games onto PSP. Step 2. One of the biggest problems is finding a place to download the games from. It is not difficult to find places that will let you download games onto PSP, but so many of them are unreliable and dangerous. Apart from the risk of downloading something that will be different from what was promised, you could even find your computer infected with a virus or spyware. Not good. Make sure you find a reputable site to download PSP games from. The trustworthy ones will charge a small fee in advance, and for that you will get access to unlimited downloads. How to download games onto PSP. Step 3. As you start downloading to your computer, make sure you only download files that end in PSP or have PSP in the title, as otherwise the file will not be compatible. Sadly, it will often be found that the untrustworthy sites out there will trick you with all sorts of different files as downloads, so make sure you are very careful about a file before you download it. A very good idea when downloading the games is to save them to their own folder on your desktop called PSP Downloads. This is the most logical place to put them. How to download games onto PSP. Step 4. Once you have quite a few games downloaded, you can then transfer them from your PC onto the memory card of your PSP. This is not complicated, and will only need a standard USB cable to connect the two, and the PC should then accept the PSP and think of it as some form of removable drive, like a flash drive or removable HD. When everything is connected, you need to open up the PSP using the PC and drag and drop the needed files onto the PSP memory stick, just as you would with any kind of removable drive. It is important that as you do this, you put the files into folders marked PSP, and then game on your memory card. You must create these files if they are not there already, and it makes sense to use all capital letters. How to download games onto PSP. Step 6. As soon as you have transferred the games to your PSP, you should be able to play them by opening up the game menu and choosing the game you want from the stick. You may get error messages, and these are often caused by incompatible firmware. This happens most often with downloading homebrew games. It can mean that you have to downgrade the firmware for your PSP to be able to play these homebrew games. It really is quite easy to download games onto PSP when you have learned how to do it. The hardest part is finding a reputable download source. Don't forget to like our video.